Welcome to the Coastin With Quayz series, where I hit the road for a coaster-packed adventure across North America. Ride along as I conquer record-breaking roller coasters, explore new parks, and earn new coaster credits. 9 parks, 12 days, thousands of miles of thrills. This is an ultimate amusement park road trip. This is Coaster Tour North America. Coming up on this episode, I travel 5.5 hours from Cedar Point all the way to Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. I check out the park for the first time and get my first ride on Wrath of Rakshasa, the brand new B&M dive coaster. After that, I battle the storms and get on some of the other coasters in the park. There's even one coaster that I get half of a coaster credit on, so check out the vlog to see what that's all about on episode 9 of Coaster Tour North America, Six Flags Great America. What's going on, Coastin With Quayz fans? It is Mark, aka Quayz, and I just drove like 6.5 hours from Cedar Point to get to Gurnee, Illinois to arrive at Six Flags Great America, and it is my first time here. Now I'm getting here late, so park closes at 8. It's like after 5, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to get on today. So episode 9 of Coaster Tour North America, which is this one, is probably going to be a shorter episode. But I'm here all day tomorrow too, so hopefully I can get on a bunch today. That way it makes tomorrow a little bit easier to get more credits. So let's get into the main entrance and get on our first coaster. Wow, I've seen videos of this entrance plaza so many times with the carousel straight ahead behind the big blue fountain. And this is my first time here. I'm very excited to be here. If you look in the distance there, that's Wrath of Rakshasa, the brand new B&M dive coaster here. So hopefully I'll be able to get on that tonight. Max Force right over here is actually closed today, so hopefully tomorrow we can get on that. I'm gonna make my way towards Raging Bull and Wrath of Rakshasa, so straight ahead. There are a lot of people leaving, and I got a parking spot, like front row. So I'm hoping that bodes well for getting on rides. On the drive over here, in certain spots around Chicago, it poured. The weather forecast is saying it could rain here too. So fingers crossed we get on as much as we can before it starts to downpour. This park does have an S&S free spin joker, another one at another Six Flags park. All right, we're gonna make our way straight ahead here. And then somewhere over to the right should be the entrance to the Whizzer. There's a little line for the Whizzer. They had it closed, but it's opening back on, so I'm going to get right in this line. Alright, well, the Whizzer was a lot of fun. You know, it's got this weird, almost like bobsled-like train, where if there's 2 people, one person sits in front of the other person, kind of on their lap. And then there's no lap bar or restraint, it's just a seat belt, which is kind of wild. But it was actually kind of fun. You spiral up the lift hill, and then the drops and stuff aren't steep, but they're very long to pick up speed. And then you go through a lot of spirals and stuff, so pretty fun ride. Great first ride here at Great America. All right, I'm going to continue back towards what I would call like the middle of the park, because there's a bunch of roller coasters in there. No sooner did I walk around the corner, and here's the new dive coaster, Wrath of Rakshasa. It's going right now. We've got Demon. We've got the Raging Bull. X-Flight in the back. Pretty cool. Alright, since Wrath of Rakshasa is the brand new roller coaster, it probably gets the longest lines. So since it's towards the end of the day, I think I'm going to get a ride on it now, get my first impressions, and then maybe tomorrow I'll get some more rides on it. Made it to the entrance, Wrath of Rakshasa. They make it look like it's some kind of a circus event. So we're in the county fair area of the park. Kind of cool that they did that. Let's go ahead and get on. right, first impressions of Wrath of Rakshasa. I think, well, for one, I think it's a great ride. If I was to compare it to another B&M dive coaster, it would probably be Iron Menace at Dorney Park, because both this and Iron Menace feature that kind of, we'll call it dive coaster mini kind of vibe. The track is definitely much smaller than something like Valraven, here go by, and Yukon Striker, but it's still really smooth. What I will say is I think Iron Menace is a little bit more forceful, but this is a little bit smoother. Overall, I think I like the layout better on this. It's got 5 inversions, which is really good, and there's also no mid-course brake run, which I really enjoy, because then it just kind of keeps the pacing going. There's no second dive, but that's okay. So overall, first ride, I got front row, 1 seat from the middle. Really good, I liked it. Since I'm over here by Raging Bull, I'm gonna go get a ride on that, because it's probably one of the most unique B&M hyper layouts, being that it's not an out and back coaster. So let's head over there next. I didn't realize that this was the entrance to Demon right here, right next to Wrath of Rakshasa, because the sign for it's over here in the grass. So before Raging Bull, I'm actually gonna get a quick ride on Demon, because there's like no weight on it. All right, coaster credit number 220 is this bad Larry behind me, Demon. For an aerodynamics looping coaster, not too bad. The 2 corkscrews behind me gave me some head banging, but other than that, not too bad. A short ride. It's 2 loops, 2 corkscrews, a couple turns. The coolest part about it is that you do go through some like rock work and tunnels, so that was kind of neat. All right, now on to Raging Bull. The buildings in this Southwest Territory, especially this one straight ahead, kind of reminds me of El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure, the station building. So far I've waited like nothing for Whizzer, nothing for Demon, and maybe 15-20 minutes for Wrath of Rakshasa, so let's hope Raging Bull's not a long wait either. All right, into the queue of Raging Bull, let's go. Looks kind of empty, so hopefully that's good news. Man, I'm getting on rides left and right here. This is awesome. Whoa, Raging Bull was awesome. That is easily the craziest B&M hypercoaster layout ever. It's a twister layout, meaning it goes one way, does an element or two, has a big turnaround, goes the other way, does an element or two, has a big turnaround, and then it has a bunch of twists and turns kind of all tangled together. Most B&M hypers are out and back coasters that are very focused on floater airtime. So like Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland was very floater airtime focused. This ride's crazy. The airtime is more ejector. I mean, you have a couple of floater airtime moments on the big hills, but off of the mid-course brake run, I got crazy ejector airtime, and I was in back row. Also, the first drop, since it has like a pre-drop, you get some really good airtime on that drop as well. Great ride. I wish B&M would do more hypers like this instead of just the traditional out and back, but that's what makes Raging Bull a little bit more unique, I guess. So this is probably my favorite ride so far here in the park. All right, now I'm gonna head to the other side of the park because I definitely want to get on Goliath, the RMC coaster that's here. So if I see anything worthwhile on the way over, I'll get a ride on it, but Goliath is my next destination. All right, I'm passing X-Flight right now, and although this ride looks really cool, I'm gonna skip it for now because I really want to get back there to Goliath. In case you're wondering, beer here. All right, on my way over to Goliath, I am passing American Eagle, and I think I am gonna get a quick ride on this because they're only running one side the blue side or the right side, and technically this is 2 credits. So tomorrow, if they're running the red side, or I'm assuming it's red, but the left side, then I can get both credits. And there's the first of the 2 American Eagle credits. Before I talk about the ride, I just got to say, it's a journey just to get to the station of this ride. It is like a maze of pathways, and then you finally get there. So I got on the blue train, or the right side, and this ride was a lot of fun. It was actually pretty smooth for an old wooden roller coaster. You can see behind me it has the Ace roller coaster landmark. So this is a classic wooden roller coaster. First half of the ride, you actually get some pretty decent ejector airtime on some of the airtime hills, but the standout moment for me was the midway point of the ride, where there is a giant double helix, and it's just crazy. And then the return trip is not quite as interesting. You don't really get as much airtime, at least at the blue side. What I will say is I hope that tomorrow the red side is open, because on the return trip, the red side does like twisting over and under the blue side, so it is a little bit of a different layout. So hopefully I can get that other part of it. That's it for American Eagle for now, so let's move on to Goliath. It is a very short walk from American Eagle, the wooden roller coaster, or one of the 2 wooden roller coasters here, to Goliath, the RMC Hybrid. Now, this is actually a ground-up RMC, meaning that this was not a standard wooden roller coaster before they built it. It's just completely brand new. Now, it does feature the Rocky Mountain Construction topper track, where the bottom part of the track is wood and the top is steel. So this ride can actually be considered a wooden roller coaster. Just got off Goliath, and it went down when I was in the queue, because I guess there was lightning within 5-10 miles, whatever the rule is. So it went down for about 15-20 minutes, but I just stayed in line, got right up to the station once it opened, got on, and then it started raining, but they sent us anyway, and that was a lot of fun. Now I will say, I think of all the RMCs I've been on, it's my least favorite. Because it's just the topper track, it's a little bit rougher, but like not crazy rough. It's obviously very smooth. It's RMC, but it's a short layout. The 2 standout moments to me are the kind of dive loop at the halfway point, and then the stall right after it. Those are both great elements. And then of course it's RMC, so there's a couple good pops of airtime. But solid ride. Definitely not my favorite in the park, though. I think this might be like one of the first times that an RMC is not my favorite in the park. There's only a couple other parks that I feel like have that as kind of the thing, you know? Park closes in 10 minutes, so I have to see if there's anything that I could get into line for real quick and get one last ride. It's so funny, everything is just shuttered, and park's not even closed yet. Coming from Cedar Point, like, park would be closed. It'd be 45 minutes after close, and shops would still be selling stuff. You could still get food. This is kind of wild. All right, let's see if there's anything open in DC Universe. Batman, Flash, let's find out.
Watch your car at all times and your head against the headrest. Secure hands and...
Oh, you guys, I made it over here to the Flash Vertical Velocity. Not to be confused with the Flash Vertical Velocity at Six Flags Great Adventure. That's a Vekoma Super Boomerang. This is an Intamin Impulse coaster. I got on the ride and went on the ride. It went forwards, it went backwards, and then up the reverse spike, and then it went forwards, and then instead of launching us again, it stopped us. And we were stuck on the track. And I guess it went down because there was a weather warning, so they couldn't let us finish the ride. So we were stuck there, and then finally maintenance came, reversed the train back, and then they let us off. Now, I asked if they were going to send us again, and he said, no, they're not going to send us again. So now, I guess they're just kind of testing it, but park is now officially closed. So does this count as half of a credit? Let me know if this counts as half of a credit. The good news is I will be here again tomorrow. So this is where I'm probably going to end my episode, right here at the Flash. I'll tell you what, for only being here for like 2.5 hours, I got on 6.5 roller coasters, and that was even with some downtime due to weather, so that's pretty good. So tomorrow's supposed to be sunny. There's not supposed to be really any chances of bad weather, so hopefully I'll be able to get all the other credits that I need here, as well as re-rides on things like Wrath of Rakshasa. Man, that's so hard to say. And I definitely want to get on Raging Bull and Goliath a couple more times. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So until next time, keep on coasting.